Rebecca Mader!
Hallo everyone! Wie geht's? Gut?
They're very shy because we're just starting. This is like the first thing of the day.
So we need to warm them up.
Yeah, exactly. Wie geht's euch?
Viel besser.
Viel besser. Rebecca, would you like to sit or stand?
Ja, bitte.
Great. Great to have you here. Rebecca, first of all, congratulations.
Dankeschön.
It's lovely.
Danke.
Und wollen wir auf Deutsch weiterreden? Because you have German blood running through your veins.
It helped me play Wicked for sure.
Yeah? That's the German.
It was definitely the German part of me that came out.
Is that a compliment or is that something?
Yes.
Okay.
Very proud to be part German.
But how often are you in the country? I mean, have you...
I've been to Germany, I would say about... Danke. I've been to Germany probably about 10, 15 times.
Okay.
In my entire life, yeah.
For fun, for work, or just...
For family, mostly.
Okay, so where's your family based?
In Dresden.
In Dresden?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so you travel to Dresden and then you
Yeah.
check out the rest of the country.
Yeah.
What about your German language skills?
Nicht so gut.
Nicht so gut.
Ich habe alles vergessen.
Das stimmt. Man hört das aber überhaupt nicht. You wanna try English and German?
Nein.
Nein. Okay.
Noch nicht.
Noch nicht. What do you like about Germany? Is there something next to being a wicked witch that's a character trait of a German?
I love speaking German. I don't know. Speaking different languages feels different, and I like how German feels when you speak it. It's like eating a big piece of meat. It's juicy and it's sexy, and you get ach nein, was? It's like arr. It's just I love it.
A friend of mine once told me that German sounds like someone is constantly throwing up. And I thought it was...
It doesn't.
No, it doesn't, does it?
No.
The sound is kind of strange.
Yeah, but it's satisfying.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
I like that. I'm going to describe it exactly the way that you describe it.
Yeah, do it. You can
Biting in a big, juicy piece of meat.
Yeah.
Rebecca, let's start because we have some time to talk, and
Yes.
I really like that. Let's start from the beginning because I mean your career is really impressive. I mean everyone loves you as the Wicked Witch of the West. But let's start from the beginning. What triggered your interest in becoming an actress? Was there like an incident or someone that you admired, or someone who told you, "Listen, Rebecca, you'd be great. You want to start in the music?"
When I was little, my German family asked my parents what was wrong with me because I was so loud and silly, and my German Uncle Heinz, told my Uncle Heinz told my father that he thought I belonged in the circus. But I didn't. I think I just always had that personality because my family, especially my English family, are very shy. But I've always been loud and annoying and silly. So I think I was just always. I needed an outlet, and I think acting was that for me. And when I was little, and I used to watch TV or see children in TV commercials, I want to do that. So ever since I was this big, I just felt this need to be on television. It was very strange. I don't know where it came from because my parents are much more shy than I am.
But did they support your dream? Because you know, when you're a kid, you want to be anything from astronaut, actress, finally. You know, everyone.
Yeah, I didn't really talk about it much when I was little. It was more sort of later in life. I didn't become an actress until I was like 23. So it was like after I'd moved out and stuff like that. But my parents have always been incredibly supportive of everything I do. They're very proud of me. They're my biggest fans. So it's been really nice to have that support from them.
So how did you approach that wish or that task of becoming an actress?
Getting into acting is really hard. It's a lot harder in the UK than it is in the US. So I think one of the reasons why I had success is because I moved to America, because I didn't go to college and I couldn't really afford to go to university or go to drama school in London, which is incredibly expensive. So I was like, I'm just going to go to America and see what happens. Because I think sometimes in America, if you've got ambition and drive and you work really hard, it's sort of like the American dream, anything can happen. Whereas I feel like in England, if you haven't been to drama school, you can't even get a meeting with an agent. It's a lot harder to break
so
into
it's
the
a lot
business.
more conservative in that.
Yeah, so I needed to go to America because I couldn't go to school.
But going to America, I mean, a lot of people have tried it and have done it and haven't succeeded. What was the first step? Where did you go exactly? What did you think, and how would you approach that career goal?
Well, I was lucky in that I was able to sort of go in the back door because I used to be a model. And in America, if you are a model and you want to do television commercials, you need an acting agent. So if you're a model, you get given an acting agent just to do like a hair commercial, even if you're not an actress. So that was kind of my way in, and then I sat down and I said, oh, by the way, I can act. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, no, I really can. So I proved it to them, and so they started sending me out as an actress. But it was literally, modeling was the bridge for me. If I hadn't have been a model, I would never have become an actress.
Did you ever take acting lessons in that regard? And you started to say, basically, now that I have entered that world, I want to, try to professionalize it in that sense?
I mean, not really, because they were very expensive. So I didn't, when I was living by myself, the money I made from modeling was to pay my rent. So I never really had the money to take or go to acting school or anything. I did take one class for like 6 weeks, but that was, and then I ran out of money.
It's just pure talent then.
I mean,
Fantastic. But did you, once you've made it in the States, did you ever transfer your success to Europe in that regards?
I haven't yet. That's next on my to-do list. I really, really want to do something British. I've never worked in the UK. I've never worked in Europe, and that's something I really want to achieve in my career. I'd love to come back to England and do a really cool British TV show.
Do you think it's going to be easier? I mean, do you need an agent now in Europe? Or
I think I'm going to have to get a British agent. Yeah.
Okay. And so this is on your. I mean, first there's another thing that you have to take care of.
What?
Exactly. Breakfast, and then that would be on your bucket list.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I'd love to do something British. I want to come home and work and, share it with my family. And I've been gone for such a long time. It would be nice to have that experience and share it with my family.
And it's pretty impressive what you have done, with the set goal that you wanted to achieve that. Let's talk about one of the roles that made you famous before you started with the series in which you play the Wicked Witch of the West. Dr. Charlotte Lewis in Lost is an extremely interesting character, and Lost has been a huge success. Back in the days when social media wasn't as big as it is now, because no one could sort of tweet anything about the ending. But I still have the feeling that I didn't quite fully understand the whole ending in some parts of the series. Were you satisfied with the way that ran to the end and with the way that your character was treated?
Would you want me to explain the ending really quickly?
Sorry?
You said you didn't understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want me to break it down
exactly.
really quickly?
Yeah, that would be lovely. I'm lost with the ending of Lost.
Okay. My understanding of the ending of Lost is that whatever happened, happened. There was an episode literally called What Happened, Happened. So my understanding with everyone speaking to everybody is that whatever happened on the island did really happen. That plane that took off, those people did get off. Benjamin and Hurley did stay, they ran the island. And then everybody that was in the church was Jack's purgatory. Everybody in that church was someone that was important to him as he died and crossed into heaven. So it wasn't all a dream.
So it was part dream and part reality?
I don't think that it was a dream. I think the things where you were seeing everybody in the church, that was Jack's transition. That was his crossover into the afterlife.
Okay.
That's
I
how
have to basically rewatch the last couple of episodes.
That's how I understand it.
Did you guys understand it the same way? I mean, who's a fan of Lost? Who's seen Lost? A couple of people. Yeah, I've seen it. So do you agree to what Rebecca just said? Yeah? Okay, thumbs up? Yeah? Okay, let's wait and see. We can discuss that later, but thank you very much for explaining.
I mean, the creators broke it down for me like that, so that's straight from the horse's mouth.
So, how much did you enjoy that series, and especially the character? And did your career with that portrayal of Charlotte change completely? I mean, did it open up a completely new horizon for you regarding offers and acting?
Yeah, I mean, being part of that show changed my life, it changed my career. it was one of the most important television series ever made. I mean, it changed the face of television. It made sci-fi cool. You know, back in the day, it used to be a separate genre, and all of a sudden, normal people were going, oh, there's a polar bear in the jungle, but I can get behind it. I'm going to tune in every week, because they were able to sort of mesh sci-fi with character development, and you were invested in these people, and it changed the face of television, and it changed my life. I mean, I was only supposed to do like 5 episodes or something, and I ended up working on it for like 3 years or whatever, and I was really grateful to be a part of it, for sure.
Do you remember, did you go for a casting?
Yeah.
Okay, so how did that, I mean, obviously it went successful, but how did it go? Did you have a good feeling?
I was really nervous. I think when I went into audition for Lost, there was only 6 people. So I was sitting there looking at the other girls, and I was like, this is mine, And I had to sort of like psych myself into it that it was gonna be mine. And then when I went in to do the audition, I went in once, and then they had me come back to meet with Damon and Carlton, the executive producers, and I said to myself, I'm not gonna leave this room until I've made them fall in love with me. And not just the character, but like show them my personality. And they said one of the reasons I got the job was because they thought, she is a person that we can send to that island and she'll fit in. Because, you know, there can be a lot of drama when you add new actors, and it was a pre-existing cast, and they're like, she'll be a part of the family and everyone will be happy. So it wasn't just my acting, it was because I'm a hoot.
So what was it like to actually enter that existing group of
the first,
stars?
it was wicked. Like, I was nervous because, you know, when you enter a show, and it's the same for me in Once Upon a Time, when you have a pre-existing show, it's like starting, you know, school halfway through the year. You're like, oh, I hope everybody likes me, and I was a bit nervous. But on my first day on Lost, I hadn't been watching the show, so I watched 3 seasons in 2.5 weeks once I got the part. And it was back then, you couldn't stream it, it was on DVD, so old school, like sticking it in the side of a laptop. And so I watched the series 3 finale the same day as my first day at work. So I was sitting in my hotel waiting to be picked up, and you know, the island's like wow, wow, moving, and they're like, your car's here, and I'm like, what? And I got in a car and went straight into the jungle, into that show. It was so trippy. And the first character I saw was the dog. So I was sitting there, and the dog came up, and I got like really nervous. I'm like, oh my God. And then they were like, cut. And everyone came through the jungle, like Locke and Sawyer, and they all like came walking towards me as I sat on this chair. And it was really trippy, because I had just watched 66 episodes, and then all these characters were walking towards me. And my first day was when Benjamin Linus shot me in the chest. And I was lying on the floor, and Locke had his knees over my waist and was kneeling on top of me. And I looked up at the sky, and all I could see was Locke's bald head, the jungle, and the sky. And I was like, how did I get here?
How exciting.
I'm like, I could die now. Like, I've literally made it. It was so cool.
I mean, as you could see, I mean, there's so many people who love that show to death.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. What about, you know, the behind the scenes camaraderie between all of the actors and actresses? I mean, is that something that are you still in contact with some of them because you spend so much time together on an island?
Yeah, I'm still in touch with Daniel Day Kim and Josh. Like, we all still see each other. I saw a bunch of them at we did a Lost reunion concert in LA recently, which was really cool. But some of my favorite moments, and it's the same with Once Upon a Time, some of the best moments on these shows aren't when the cameras are rolling. It's the moments in between. And on Lost, everybody played instruments, you know, so Terry O'Quinn and Josh would be playing the guitar, and we'd be singing. Sometimes accidentally there would be a beer next to you know, in a red cup, so nobody knew what it was. And it would be 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd be in the jungle singing songs, and it was like camping. It was really magical under the stars. It was really cool.
Sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Great. Rebecca, because you said that you're very determined about getting a job, we were talking about the casting, that you went in and said, I'm not going to leave before I get the job.
Yeah.
Is it true that you had a cameo in Fringe because you are so in love with that series and you basically tweeted about it the whole time?
Yeah. I was when Lost finished, it left a hole for so many people in television. And I was talking to my friend, like, what am I going to do? Like, what else can we watch? And a friend of mine recommended Fringe. So I got into Fringe and I'm like, oh my God, this is really hitting the spot. And then the show was always, as they say in America, on the bubble. It was always about to be cancelled, and I was like, no, this is not happening on my watch. So I would always tweet like, you've got to watch it live, it's going to get cancelled. And then it got pushed to Friday nights, which in America is like the kiss of death for TV. And I'm like, come on, come on, come on. And then I got a package one day saying, thank you for all your support of our show. It really means a lot to us. Do you want to be in it? I'm like, what? They're like, what do we have to do to get you on it? I'm like, I do it for free. Like, oh my God. I was so excited. They sent me like a t-shirt and a baseball cap and I posted a picture. And they were like, I was on another show, which I was really annoyed, so I wasn't available. And then that show got cancelled. So I called my agent like, quick, call Fringe, because they were about to finish. So they quickly were able to like write me into a couple of episodes.
I think 2?
Yeah. So I just managed to get in right before.
So it was by accident. So is that something that you do the whole time now? Tweet about series and movies that you like?
I haven't, but I need to do that again, yeah.
That would be very smart. Let's take a look at, we've been talking about it a little bit. Once Upon a Time is a fantastic TV series, and let's see a clip.
While I was gone. You showed me my past. Now take me there. To the moment my mother abandoned me, that's when it all went wrong. I need to go back and change it.
You want to travel back in time to change the past?
That's so funny.
I'm afraid that's impossible.
I thought you were the great and terrible Oz.
Even my power has its limits.
Telling me.
No! Don't hurt me! Please!
Who are you?
My name is Walsh. I'm just a circus hawk, sort of a showman. I come from a distant land, a place called Kansas.
You're not even a wizard.
It's all part of the act, but what I peddle is real. What you saw there is real. Those slippers took you to the enchanted forest, didn't they? I may not have magic, but the things I collect do.
That's why you wanted me to bring you something of Rumpelstiltskin's, so you could carry on this charade.
I didn't mean any harm. I was trying to help us both. What you seek doesn't exist. No magic is that strong.
Well then, I have no use for you. At least not like that.
Like what?
What I need is someone who's willing to do whatever I ask without question. Like a trained circus animal.
You're evil.
Not evil, dear. Wicked. Much better. Now come. If I'm going to find a way to change the past, I've got work to do.
Well done, Regina. You've been practicing. You're shaping up to be the best pupil I ever had.
We'll see about that. When I'm done, Regina, you'll have never even been born. I haven't seen that in so long.
Is it weird?
Yes! It's so weird to see yourself on TV.
Rebecca, tell us, how did all that come about? How did you enter the world of Once Upon a Time?
Actually, well, Adam and Eddie, who created the show, were a part of the writing team on Lost. So luckily, this was just an offer, and I didn't have to audition. And as an actor, that's like the holy grail, to just be handed something on a plate when you've spent years fighting and struggling and knocking down doors. So that was a really beautiful moment for me, for them to say, hey, do you want to be on our show? I'm like, yes, please. So it was really cool.
How enjoyable is it to be in that cast? Because as you've been talking to us about it, Lost was an amazing experience because of the people that surrounded you and where you were. Is that any different? Or is that something very important for you as an actress, that you work in an environment where you feel safe, sort of loved, and surrounded by friends?
It's a huge part of it because most of your day when you're shooting a movie or a TV show is you're not actually filming. Most of the day is waiting. I mean, if I've learned one thing as an actor, it's patience. You know, because there's
Do
a
you
lot.
have patience?
I do now.
Okay.
I didn't used to. I'd be like, why aren't we shooting? What's going on? I'm bored. Whereas now, I just relax, I hang out with people, have a cup of tea, eat some chocolate, they knock on my door, I'm ready to go, I'm calm. There isn't that sort of feeling of I should be doing something. I've learned to just wait for it to be my turn. So I think it's very important, the energy between the other actors, and when it's good, it changes the whole experience. I mean, it's a huge part of the experience, and with Once Upon a Time, we all formed such an amazing bond, and we're all still really close and really good friends and see each other all the time. And sometimes we would be having so much fun in each other's rooms that when they knocked and said, "We're ready for you," we're like, "Oh, but we're busy in here." All right, we'll come. So that was really, it was like and I didn't get to go to university. So for me, us all being in different rooms and going to each other's rooms and hanging out, it felt like I was at school, which was nice because I missed out on that experience.
Do you have a certain ritual when you go on set? I mean, is that something that you always do first? Do you walk around the sets, or do you greet the director of photography or your fellow cast members?
Well, you get to do all of that in rehearsal. So typically, I'm rehearsing in my pajamas and half of my face is green, so I get to say, Morgan, and chat with everybody. And then when I come in and I'm fully ready, I'm ready to go.
What is it like to be working with all these special